Hello, this is Nick from Breaker Press Games, and this is the Breaker Bulletin for August 22nd, 2025. Alright, so what is going on with Breaker Press Games? Before we get into it, if you find this video useful, entertaining, or otherwise beneficial in your life, please like, subscribe, comment down below. You know the drill. It's good for the algorithms, yada, yada, yada. So, yeah, let's talk about things. So where have I been? Well, in the last several months, I have been at MomoCon, I've been at Origins, I've been at the Sussex Scuffle, I've been at Gen Con, and even more things like EggCon. Yeah, I've been around. I've been doing some stuff. In fact, MomoCon was a long trip, and then Origins and Gen Con were both like 7-8 days each, because of setup and breakdown for the Goodman booth, because they are big conventions. So I have been very busy. That doesn't mean I haven't been working on stuff, but I have been very busy, and it has made it more difficult for me to be as communicative. Additionally, people get a little squirrely if I'm recording a bunch of videos and they are waiting for their Kickstarter rewards, and so that sometimes dissuades me from being as communicative, because really, all of these are pillars of all the things that I need to do in order to be successful with Breaker Press Games. Yeah, because I've been so far behind and with all the conventions, I felt like something had to give. But let's get communicative. Let's talk about what's going on. So, with all of those things, even with all of those things, I should say, Patreon, I've still been active with posting regular content to keep people abreast of progress with the various Kickstarters that I've been wrapping up. We are down to only 2 Kickstarters to wrap up. Standard Courier Volume 2 and Horrors of the Whispering Wood. I mean, technically, there are people that are waiting for stuff for Rabid Dogs Volume 2 and Peculiar NPCs that they're requiring the Standard Courier Volume 2 be done. So I shouldn't say it quite like that. But we're wrapping things up. Everything is going to move pretty quickly once Standard Courier Volume 2 is done, and a lot of people are going to get their stuff. So, let's talk about that. So, on the Patreon page, I through May and June, I was posting up the final spreads for Standard Courier Volume 2. The zine was finished. It went to editing. Alex did a great job doing the editing, etc. And everything was coming together great, except for I loved the flow of the zine, the NPCs that I selected, but they were spread out all over the map. And the map, which this is a version of the map, this is actually 2 maps that are cut and pasted together. If you look real close, the dots don't line up perfectly. But some of these NPCs are not on this map. And so I needed to make a decision. Do I change which NPCs are going to be in the zine, or do I redraw the map in order to expand it out to what I visualize as the full, town limits of Stennard? And ultimately, I got back from Gen Con and I was like, this is what I'm going to do. And so I've spent the last 2 weeks hammering away every day, a little bit each day on this map. It is nice and big, has tons of additional houses and locations and what have you, and I'm really excited with the opportunities that it is going to present for future content, for Standard Courier Volume 3, for a project that I've wanted to do called Sins of the Hive Wardens, and a number of other things. And so ultimately, I'm really excited with the opportunities it's going to create, but it means a little bit more work and a little bit more delay. I'm sorry for that, but at the same time, we are all going to be better for it. The thing that I'm going to do for all of you as an additional reward for your patience in this matter is that I am going to print a big version of this Stennard map that you can then use with your players at the table, and they can be like, oh, what's this place? Oh, what's this? I want to go here. All the things that players love to do because they love looking at maps. So that is the trade-off for the weight, is that I'm going to give you guys a cool fold-out map. At least I think it's cool. Hopefully you do too. So that is what is going on with the Standard Courier Volume 2. I'm hoping that the map will take me another week. Then it'll get scanned and dropped into the layout. We'll do a final like proof editing pass, and then get that to the printer. So let's talk about Horrors of the Whispering Wood. In the last 2 months, month and a half, 2 months. In the last 2 months, the thing that I've been posting up on Patreon is a lot of monsters. These are part of the Lurking Horrors bestiary portion of Horrors of the Whispering Wood, and I'm really excited. I had a breakthrough with Horrors of the Whispering Wood with the monsters, something I called Monstrous Deeds. Trevor from Blind Visionary, Smoking Worm, Earthcrawl, he kind of described it as a cool way to do a monster AI. I'm really happy with it, and so that is going to those monsters have been put up on Patreon, a few of them anyway, and I'm working my way through. I had Ricardo Gaspar do a bunch of different monster art, and I've been working through the monsters that he's drawn so far and putting them on Patreon with all of their rules so that people can playtest them. And some of them, like the Screaming Frogs, have been playtested by Trevor. I think either Trevor Stamper or Tyler Stroud. Shout out to Cincinnati. You guys are killing it. Did the Blood Butcher Cranes. So some playtesting has been going on. And then I just ran a session with the Bog Hunter Mosquitoes, and I was disappointed. It was too much math, and so I'm gonna revise that and upload that again. So keep following the Patreon, see what's going on with Horrors of the Whispering Wood. Lots of cool stuff. And so what's gonna happen? After I finish Standard Courier Volume 2. Well, the primary focus will be Horrors of the Whispering Wood. I will move over from the bestiary portion to the Hexcrawl portion. But there's also one other big project that has been lurking in the background. And that is, I was supposed to finish this for DCC Day, but the large format version of Wide-Eyed Terror, I've been running it at a bunch of conventions. It expands. There's a number of different encounters and a little bit more rancid meat on the bone for the PCs to dig into. This is one of my favorite adventures to run at a convention, and so I wanted to give it a little bit more to it, so that there's more varied experiences. You can get more time out of it, because it plays in the 2 to 3 hour spot, and I wanted to push it to at least 3 hours, because that is usually a con spot is 3 to 4 hours. And so I ran it twice at Gen Con. I ran it at MomoCon and other cons. I'm really happy with how it has come together in this new expanded format, and I'm really excited to get that to you. And so that will be the next crowdfund. Crowdfund will happen in September, most likely, once Standard Courier Volume 2 is out and shipped. Standard Courier Volume 2, when that starts to ship, I will also finish off the remaining Peculiar NPCs and the remaining Rabid Dogs Volume 2 that people are waiting on. So, exciting stuff. I'm very excited to move forward with all of these projects. I know that everything, some people are waiting. Some people are very impatient. Some people have been extremely patient, and I appreciate all of you for your patience. So, we talked about Standard Courier Volume 2. We talked about Horrors of the Whispering Wood. We talked about Wide-Eyed Terror. Patreon. I've also fallen a little bit behind on Patreon because I've been posting monsters, because I'm working through these Kickstarters to get those Kickstarters done. But some Patreon rewards are owed and needed. And so what's next? Well, one of the monsters that I had Ricardo Gaspar draw is a monster named Ogrith. This is a NPC monster. Name was originally name dropped in the Precipice of Corruption in the early drafts, was dropped by the time it came out. The big chasm in the middle of the dungeon in the Precipice of Corruption originally had this giant that was just wandering through the chasm and just howling, and that was Ogrith. But Ogrith instead has been terrorizing my players. Ogrith wanders around the mangled hills, and in a recent session, he's appeared in 3 sessions in the last 3-4 months. And in the first encounter that the PCs had with him, 1/3 level PC charge straight at Ogrith, completely unsupported, and he ate that PC like a piece of corn on the cob. It was glorious, and the player laughed until he cried, and so I consider that a win. That being said, so Ogrith will be a pamphlet. That's the plan. I've already started work on it. I also have. I've been utilizing Urhan Leech Gripper as a prototype for what the Sawbones or Barber Surgeon PC class will be, as well as I am going to map out the Proselytizer, who will be my replacement for the Priest. So yeah, so there's a lot of stuff that is in the works and that will be coming down the pipe really soon. And so yeah, let's wrap this up. We're at 11 minutes. Let's talk about where I'm going to be next. Next weekend, not this weekend, but next weekend, I will be at Grand Con. I will be running the Goodman Games booth. I did not get any adventures onto the books, but I am going to post on the Patreon and a couple other places. I want to run off books games. Last year there was plenty of open space, and so I'm going to run some off books games. If you're going to be at Grand Con, you're going to be at Grand Rapids, please, let's roll some dice together and have a good time. I'd love to run Wide-Eyed Terror for the masses. So after that, I will be at the Archer Heights branch of the Chicago Public Library on September 13th. I'm hoping to maybe piggyback that with another in-store visit because it will be a short session at the library. But I will post the links to that in the doobly-doo. Additionally, I will be running the Gamehole Con booth with Trevor Stamper at Gamehole Con in Madison, Wisconsin in mid-October. And then after that, I feel like I'm missing something, but the Milwaukee Krampusnacht is coming up in December. I should be at UConn in November. So lots of cool stuff coming up. I'm really excited to get in front of all of you and run these adventures and to get this stuff done. That is the breakdown of everything going on with Breaker Press Games. I hope that was informative and mildly entertaining. Thank you for supporting indie games and indie game designers. Thank you for your patience in everything that I do. And of course, live fully and die gloriously. Thanks. Have a great weekend.